Okay, this is from the book Food, Mood, and IQ by me, Pete Rogers. We're talking about MSG and MFG. Manufactured free glutamate is MFG. MS is monosodium glutamate. It's a flavorant. You know, the Japanese figured out how to make it. It's basically the amino acid glutamate freed up, and it activates umami glutamate receptors around our tongue and our taste pathway, our intestinal tract, and it makes food taste good. So the food companies put tons of it in there. People started not being happy about MSG in there because they heard about all the side effects. So now what they do is they just hyper process a food and break it up into individual amino acids of protein. So now you have freed up individual glutamates, especially from proteins like casein, gluten, soy. They all contain a lot of glutamate, even from corn, because corn's cheap to work with. Okay, so yeah, nowadays 90% of free glutamate in processed foods from MFG, not from MSG. Okay, makes stuff taste better. They put tons of it in there, make stuff hyper palatable, so people eat more of it. And there's areas of blood-brain barrier that are not intact. You have chemosensors around the ventricles, circumventricular organs, and they don't have a blood-brain barrier. Plus, you'll often have areas of breakdown of the blood-brain barrier due to diabetes, hypertension, ischemia. And something that causes leaky gut will often cause leaky blood-brain barrier, head trauma, stroke. Okay, they put tons of this stuff like into a soup. That's why those soups will taste so good. And then as far as the names, there are tons of things that are representative of it. That's why I recommend just avoiding processed food. Avoid anything with more than one ingredient, because they can put it in the second ingredient without telling you. Anything with the word yeast in it's probably got MFG in it. Maltodextrins, natural flavors, anything with the word protein in it, soy protein, isolated protein, textured protein, whey protein, fortified protein, all think of those as being MFG. Cornstarch, they often get it from corn nowadays too. Anything with the word malt in it, malted barley, barley malt, malt extract, are all bad. Brain surgery will weaken blood-brain barrier. And when the blood levels get high in the blood, and they can get rather high because it'll overwhelm the sequestration systems, it can be neurotoxic to a significant extent. Some people say avoid MSG, MFG, you got to read food labels, but really you want to preferably buy foods that don't have a label on them. That way they can't add anything to it. A low glutamate diet was helpful for some patients in treatment of Gulf, war illness. The amounts of MSG in a food could be extraordinarily high because they can put it through multiple different ingredient names. So they can really crank it up there and overwhelm the body's sequestration system. So a much higher than desirable dose will reach the brain. Some other common food sensitivities include citric acid, corn, that's got a lot of glutamate, gluten. Gluten sensitivity, the subject is beyond the scope of this book, but it can cause all kinds of problems. All right. I'm going to leave it at there for this session today. We'll come back to this chapter in the next video.